You asked him if he could play any character?
Yeah.
I think we know the answer to that, don't we? One
I'm
episode.
sorry, I wasn't finished.
Oh. By all means, finish.
Thank you very much.
Look, you get 2 deans for the price of 1.
If you could play any character from a recent or upcoming movie, which one would you pick?
Any movie. Good luck. And go. Tyler Durden, Fight Club. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it though. Because reprising that role after what Brad Pitt did, it's hard to do. It's hard to, you know they're redoing Scarface? Yeah, I heard this. Why? Why would any actor touch that role with a, you know what I mean? You guys know Scarface, right? Yes. Don't remake that. I mean, come on. How do you outdo Pacino? Anyway. Ego. Hey, Brock Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. To the guy that I owe my career to. Isn't that right? To the guy that keeps me looking young. Oh, marbles, yeah, you gotta do the marbles. Don't forget the marbles, man. We'll start throwing them at you. All right. Brock Kelly, everybody. Brock Kelly. Dan's a handsome fella, isn't he?
Yes.
All right, I didn't need that much of a response. It was a rhetorical question. Hi, everybody. So now all of you that were online to ask Brock a question, you better think quick, because he's gone, and it's just me. Is everybody still awake?
Yes.
Is anybody feeling jet lag like I am?
No.
No? Good, great. Fine. Oh. I told some of you this earlier, but I try to go to bed early and be a good guy, a good boy. And I did. I was in bed by 11. And then I woke up at 3. And could not go back to sleep. So I just thank you. Thank you. Sympathy is good. So I've been up for quite some time, and I don't know. I'll sleep at some point next month. But anyway, it's really good to be here. I know you guys got some questions for me, and I know we don't have a whole lot of time. So why don't we start over here? Hi.
Hi. It's lovely to have you here again.
It's good to be here.
Good. We know you've directed a couple of episodes of the show now, and I'm going to be attempting to direct something for the first time in a few months, and I was just wondering if you had any advice specifically on sort of how much to let actors interpret the character themselves and how much your interpretation should go into it as a director.
As a director, that's a very good question. I think that an important thing to keep in mind as a director is that you have to have a clear idea of the tone of the story. And you want to allow the actor to have a clear idea of their character and how that character fits into the story, right? So if the actor can come on and give their portrayal of what they think the character should be, and you want to tweak it to make more sense of the overall picture of the story, then I think that's what really good directors do. As opposed to nitpicking and being like, you know, instead of saying this line anger here, say it lighter here. You know, you don't have to like. It helps when you have good actors, which I was fortunate to have when I was directing. So a lot of times those guys, they know what they're doing. I don't have to tell them much at all. But any kind of direction I would give is just like slow it down or speed it up. Pace is very important. And that was one thing I learned doing the first episode. You guys can probably go back and watch Weekend at Bobby's. There was a lot of dialogue scenes, a lot of talking between Mark Shepard and Jim Beaver. Some of those scenes. And as an actor myself, I kind of got lost watching these two actors perform. As a director, I was watching and I was like, wow, they're putting in really good performances. But then watching it in the editing room, it felt slow. And that was something that I wished I'd sped up. Just get the information out. The performances will still be there, but make sure that the pace is there so that you keep the audience interested. So that's the kind of direction that I had to give, which isn't much. But you know, if the actor looks to you for direction, have an idea of what you want to give them. Otherwise, let them do the work. Because they're the professionals. They're supposed to be the ones doing the work. Yeah, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Hi. Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
One of my favorite episodes this season was the one with the unicorn. And
we got made fun of
yeah.
about that show. They showed it on the Soup. For those of you who know what that is, it's you know, kind of a show that makes fun of other television. And yeah, that episode made the reel.
Yes, I was wondering if you have as much fun shooting it as I had watching it, because it was really fun, and the brothers kind of made fun of each other like at all times. It was really good.
Yeah, that was a good old-fashioned episode. It was kind of you know, old school Supernatural. I love being on a show long enough to where I can say that's old school Supernatural. It's just crazy. But yeah, no, we really enjoy episodes like that because it kind of gets back to the original format, and that's fun.
Did you have fun with the springs?
Did I have fun with the?
With the springs?
Oh yeah, yeah. That was you know. So you guys were paying attention to that episode. If a unicorn runs in here, I'm out the door. The good old slinkies. What do you guys call them? Springs?
Molle.
Yeah, we call it slinkies.
It's easier.
Which, oddly enough, is a name of one of our crew guys. We call him Slinky. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have some stuff up here on stage with me, and why? I don't know. Okay, here's a t-shirt, and here's my friend, who I have yet to name, but I will have a name by the end of the time here. It's a little creepy, to be honest. A little creepy. Okay, what is this? What is this shirt? What is this thing? What am I doing here? See? I need a director. Where did you go? Somebody direct me. What?
Turn it.
It's not a towel. This isn't. I guess I'm gonna sign this, but I'll sign that in a minute. Let's get back to having a chat.
Anyway, these springs are all for you.
Yes. Oh, wow. Well, I've got plenty, but thank you.
You're welcome.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi.
So, first of all, I really need to tell you that I really appreciate the fact that you come to these things and you answer our questions. I just want to thank you so much for doing that, because I realise it's tiring. Thank you.
Oh, you know, the jet lag's tiring. You guys make it fun, so thank you.
So my question is about Lisa and Dean's relationship with her. And I'm just interested in what's your opinion on Dean's feelings for her. Did he really love her, or was it more complicated than that?
I think he loved the idea of her, which, you know, I don't know if that's cliche, but I think that he found somebody who could represent the idea of what he wanted, and that was to live a normal life. And you know, there was she had a son that he related to that may or may not have been his, you know, and I think that represented the life that he always thought that he wanted, and I think that's what she represented as well. Whether he truly loved her, I don't know. They didn't dive that deep into the storyline to really get that out. I think he loved her enough to know that he couldn't be with her. and I think that was a jagged pill to swallow for him. But I think it was more the idea of what she represented as a domesticated life that he always wanted, and then realized that he would never really truly be able to have that. So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi. I just want to ask that we all know that Supernatural is eventually going to end someday. And
No.
what do you think? Unfortunately.
It's gonna end, alright?
And okay, what
Not
are your
soon.
what are your plans for the future? Like, what would you like to be offered for the near future after Supernatural? And
Everything.
but what do you think you will actually be offered? Like, what are you asked for mostly?
Well, I don't get offered a lot, and that's it's not to say that people don't, pay attention or want me to be in their shows or movies. But I think I know it's quite known with a lot of the casting directors and producers around town that I'm busy. I'm over 9 months of the year I'm wrapped up in the show, and to be honest, I mean there was a film that I probably could have gotten that filmed in North Carolina for the next 2 months, and I probably wouldn't have been able to come here, and I probably would have been shooting for the next 2 months and then ended that and gone right back to Supernatural. And I would have been exhausted, and I think that they know that my time is devoted to Supernatural. When I'm not shooting that, I need my rest, and I need some time off. I need some time at home. I need to spend some time with my wife, a reminder of who I am. So I think that from what I understand, from what I'm told. The people that make those decisions are fully aware of me and are waiting for me to be done with the show.
And what would you like to do?
What would I like to do? I don't know.
Another show or a movie? Or...
Yeah, yes and yes. If the movies.
I mean, you like series, right?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to doing television. I think it's a great medium.
Yeah.
I know that I can. I know that I'm comfortable doing it. It's nice with TV because the where it's going and the ending is unsure, and I like the ever-evolving aspect of it. Whereas with a movie, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know exactly what's happening, and you're only going to get one shot to do it. Whereas with TV, I've had 149 shots at doing something cool.
Yeah.
And I will continue to get more opportunities to do something that I really like, and I think I like that, that unexpected future.
Would you change the genre? Like,
would I change
the genre?
The genre? Yeah. I mean, I think that I've been in sci-fi by accident a lot. I don't think that was something that we didn't set out to do sci-fi stuff. It was just kind of something that happened. And it was a happy accident. It's great. I've had a great time. I love it. But yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing comedy. Not opposed to doing drama. I'd love to do some action.
You do well at comedies.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love the 10 Retrievers.
Oh, so you were the 12 people that watched it. I was wondering. Heck, there it is. Well, thank you. Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. But I hope I hope I do get work after this, and I hope it's good, and I hope you guys will follow.
We will.
Yeah.
We will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
I have a question about the apocalypse, and maybe you won't like it because I always think that everybody is upset about Sam opening the gate, the gate of Lucifer, but the first one who started the apocalypse was Dean. So why do you think Dean is so pissed off at Sam about opening Lucifer gate? It's because he's feeling guilty?
Yeah, I think I mean, that's a very complicated question, and probably an even more complicated answer, which, you know, we could probably spend the rest of the time talking about that, but yeah, I think there is an enormous amount of guilt that Dean carries around with him for many things. But like I was saying earlier when I was on stage with Jared, I think that that's just part of who he is, and it's part of what keeps him running. There is that weight to bear, and he bears it. And he, you know, it's his cross to bear. The guilt of you know, losing his father, now the guilt of losing Bobby, the guilt of not being able to protect his brother all the time, the guilt of not knowing whether his brother's going to make it, the guilt of doing what he did in hell. You know, and all those things add up. It's you know, life is pretty grim for Dean. But yet he still is able to smile and turn on the radio and eat a cheeseburger. So it's, you know, he's got that vulnerability about him, and he's got that strength about him, and I think that's what makes him a really cool and fun character to play. You know, as far as the apocalypse goes, there were a lot of key elements that, you know, that have gone into that particular story point. Dean had to be one. You know, he's part of the show, it's part of the premise of the show. It'd be boring if they said it was some other character that we never heard of, right? So,
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello. Okay, so first of all, could you please tell your wife that I loved her in One Tree Hill because she's amazing? So, before you came here, Rob actually said one of your most famous lines. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but whatever. He said, "son of a bitch." So could you do that again?
Aww.
Brock said Dean's
Yeah.
As a young Dean, if it, like, he was that.
quintessential line.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's because then I have to get into the character of Dean, and we could be
Like,
here a while.
imagine something really bad. I don't know, someone sleeps with your girlfriend or something.
Son of a bitch.
If you don't mind, dance for us. I am the time.
No, that's I'm not taking your requests just yet.
Please.
It's on YouTube if you want to see it. It was never intended to be. Don't make that haunt me. Yeah, it's too late. Yeah, too late. That's haunting me.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Hi.
If there is a season 8, do you like to direct again? And if so, what kind of episode to challenge yourself as a director?
Yeah, I would like to do it again if they'll let me. And I'd actually like to see if I can do it. They've allowed me to shoot my episode first when we start shooting, which means that gives me the opportunity to be there, not working on anything, and I can prep for the episode, which means location scouting and helping with the set design and you know, figuring out all the props and all the materials that we're going to need, and really breaking down the set casting for, you know, for the cast. It would be difficult for me to be working as an actor on the show and try to prep for the next episode as a director. But I kind of want to try that. I kind of want to challenge myself and see if I can do that. So that would be the challenge. I know it's not, you know, I'd like you know, one of the big mythological stories, or I'd like a funny episode. I don't care what they throw me. I just like to try and see if I can push myself to do both at the same time. And I know that's probably really stupid because I'll be as tired as hell. But for some reason, I don't know, I like to beat myself up with work. Hi.
My friend wanted to know your top favorite quote from Dean from any season of the show. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, there's only been a few.
Yeah.
My favorite quote from Dean. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. That's too hard. I mean, you know, he's got the quotes, you know, the K-Cole and the, you know, geez, I don't know. I know there's some, but I'd have to sit and think about it. Like I said, it's 150 episodes, right? Just a couple? That's not gonna help. What? Berries. Yeah. Pudding, that's a good one.
The door picks the music one.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, you helped me out. Yeah. Bye.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Victoria, sing in love with you. And by the way, I say that Jared is amazing. You're just perfect.
I'll tell him he said so. Jared, she said you were amazing. Then she said I was perfect. Sorry. Hi. Okay.
The question is, I'm following you since Dark Angel from the first season. Every single episode of every single series you have done. Okay, I have it, I saw it a lot of time. But actually, I love you as well in movies. And as the other girl asked you, there is any script that you already have received that you would like to do as a movie?
Yeah, there's been a few in the past that would have been nice, but as soon as they go by, I forget them because I can't rewrite the past.
And there is one director that you want to work with?
Oh, there's many directors I'd like to work with. I would say that I have some guys that I'd love to work with outside of Supernatural. You know, I'd love to do another project with Bob Singer. I'd love to do another project with David Nutter, who directed the pilot.
Yeah.
With Guy B. And John Showalter, Phil Segricia, like these are great guys, and I have really good relationships, and it really helps when you have a relationship with the director because it just makes working that much more smooth and pleasure. You know, it's a pleasure to work with somebody when you have a rapport like that. And I think I've even told you guys this before. Bob Singer, who obviously the character Bobby Singer was named after. When he's not producing our show in LA, he's directing our show in Vancouver. And he and I have been working together for so long and have such a great rapport as a director and actor that he can give me direction without even speaking to me. I mean, he just walks on set and he's like, and I know exactly what he means. So, working with people like that is a real joy, and I hope that I continue to work with people like that, if not those people directly. But yeah, I mean, there's a laundry list of really great directors that I'd love to get the opportunity to work with. And I just hope that I can have the kind of rapport that I have with the guys that I get to work with already.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
I wanted to know if you ever had a moment or scene where you hit a wall and you couldn't do it, you had problems working through it, and how did you work through it?
I mean, by hitting a wall, I think I know what you mean. There's just kind of a block.
Yes.
There's two kind of scenes come to mind, and they're in two different ways of being a block. One was a scene between Jared and I where your cell phone? Where Jared and I, we refer to it as the breakup scene. You probably know what we're talking about. Where you've got the head in the back of the car, and it's on like a dock, and he gets out, and he's like, I can't even be around you anymore. And he takes off walking. I'm like, where are you gonna go? And, well, that scene originally was written. I think the writers like maybe went out that afternoon and got drunk and came back and said, oh, we really got to write this. You know what? Let's just pull up a romantic comedy and pull the dialogue from When Harry Met Sally and put that in, because it was such a, it didn't read like two brothers, you know, having an argument. It felt like a man and a woman breaking up. So that was a really big block for Jared and I. We got together and we were like, how are we going to fix this? So we basically rewrote the scene and twisted it and tweaked it to make it sound like, you know, the characters getting in a fight and walking away from one another. So that was something that we were able to kind of put our heads together and creatively find a way out. Another block, I'd say, was probably the emotional scene that I had when Dean was telling Sam about his time in hell. Mm-hmm. And that was a block because I don't know, for whatever reason, I got really emotional. And I've said this before. When you have a scene like that and you get emotional and those emotions start flowing and your face heats up and your eyes start watering and you know the emotions start, your body is reacting to something very emotional. Your brain knows it's not real, but your body doesn't. So it's reacting as though you're really going through something. And I remember when J. Miller Tobin directed that episode. I remember when Miller yelled cut, I couldn't stop. Like I was just crying. I couldn't, and I was like shaking. And you know that knot in your stomach? I don't cry that much, but it was just coming out. And I couldn't stop. I had to walk down the road. I had to like walk it off, and I couldn't. And it was really hard to like get it back because I knew we had to go again. And I just couldn't stop. And it was like one of those things where once you get going, you just can't turn that off. And that was really tough. But I literally just had to go walk it off. And that was how I dealt with that. And came back and was like, okay, let's go. So yeah, we come in, but those are curveballs that we enjoy. Like I remember going home that night and being like, wow, I really poured a lot of myself into that performance. I can hang my hat on that. That was sweet. So yeah, thanks.
I follow Danielle on Twitter, and she's recently been quite vocal about Hunger Games. So I was wondering if you've read it or seen it, and if the supernatural cast got put into the arena, who would die first and who would win?
Oh my gosh. Yes, Danielle read The Hunger Games, and she's like, well, now we have to go see it. And I'm like, I don't have to go see it. I did not read them. But she dragged me to the movie, and I went and I saw it, and I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, how is this not rated R? This is like children killing each other. And then there was like moments in the movie where the audience is laughing, and I'm like, what? I don't understand. And she's like, it's in the book. Okay. And then I'm like, well, now wait a minute. I've seen this Liam.
Hemsworth.
Thank you. He's on like every cover of every magazine saying he's like the next biggest thing. He had like 4 lines in the movie, and I'm like, am I missing something? Apparently I am. The next 2 or 3 books, or however many ever. But so I didn't really get it. But yeah, she likes it. So I don't know. What was the question?
The supernatural cast went into the arena. Who would get killed off first, and who would win?
Who would get killed off first, and who would win? I don't know. As far as how many cast? What cast members?
General men players.
General men players.
Men players.
Well, I'm pretty sure Sam and Dean would last the longest because they would pool their resources. And they can't die. You can't kill us. And we're hunters.
I also thought that if it came down to Sam and Dean would let Sam win and he'd sacrifice himself.
Aww.
Well, that's stupid. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Or probably he would. He's such a sucker. She's crying over here now. Thanks a lot. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
In Supernatural, first 5 seasons has a stronger continuity, and then now is like a procedural, like and paranormal CSI. And I want to know, what do you think about this change of format, and which one do you prefer?
You guys get that?
No.
I did. Yes, there was definitely a continuity within the first 5 seasons, yes. And then the last 2 seasons kind of deviated a little bit from that and kind of went in a different direction. And what do I prefer? Yeah. I think, well, I spent 5 years, you know, doing that one kind of story arc, the big story arc that Eric Kripke created, and you know, was the genesis of the show. It started the whole thing that is why we're all sitting here today. So I do have a love for that story and the way that the characters were written, and the way that the storylines and how the characters related to each other, and all that stuff. But I do give Sarah credit for the last 2 years in continuing the success of the show and the quality of the show, and putting her own signature on it and making it a little different. And it was, you know, it was refreshing to kind of switch it up a bit, you know, change the game a little bit. I would like to get back to the way it was originally. In a sense, I mean, I know we've come so far that to completely wipe the slate clean would be impossible, but I think that there are definitely ways of, you know, getting that old format reintroduce it into the show that is today. And we might get an opportunity to see that. I don't know. We have a whole new showrunner coming on, Jeremy Carver, who I don't know. Jeremy's come back. He was with us for a few seasons. Was one of our best writers, and because he was so good, he got taken off the show and given his own show, which Being Human.
Yes.
You guys know that show?
Yeah.
I believe him and his wife ran that show, and now he's left her to do that, and he's come back to us, and we're very happy to have him because he's very talented. So it'll be interesting to see which way he kind of takes the show. And how that's going to be, I don't know yet. I'll probably find out next month once they have a chance to sit down and go over where they want to go with season 8 and maybe season 9, maybe season 10. Thank you. Part of me wants to go at like 11 seasons, just so I can tell Tom Welling to suck it. But then the other part of me is like, 11 seasons, dude? Can you last that long?
Yes.
So, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. Hi.
Hi. I was wondering what type of roles are more challenging for you? The one that you get to explore the darker side of the human nature, or the one that kind of, well, when you play a good guy, a happy person, and you have to make the others laugh?
It is fun to play the bad guy. Let's see, I don't want to say this. It's more entertaining for the actor to play the bad guy, but I think it's more gratifying to be the hero. I think there's more satisfaction in being the hero. But playing the bad guy is definitely fun. So I think if I had to choose between the two, I would hope to be the hero.
So you would rather be Darth Vader than Luke Skywalker?
No, I'd rather be Han Solo. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Margherita from Italy.
Hi.
And my question is, what was the funniest moment an Italian convention, during an Italian convention?
The funniest moment during an Italian convention?
Yes.
Well, this is the third one. So I've got 2 others to choose from. It was probably when Jason brought the guitar on set, on stage. Because he didn't have it with him back there. And then next thing I know, he just grabbed it. It was like Houdini just came out of his pocket. And I'm like, what are you doing with that? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what are you, seriously, dude? What are you doing with the guitar? He's like, I don't know, maybe I'll play a little something. I'm like, you can play something. And then by that time we're on stage and it's like, hey, everybody. And then the guitar just sat there. And I'm like, oh, thank God, we're almost done. And it's just, it didn't get to play. Then the last question. And then at that point I was like, nah, screw it, why not? So that was...
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi. So we saw in episode 17 that Dean leaves cast in the hospital. So what do you think about it? Do you agree with Dean's decision?
Yes.
I mean, yes, because I know how it turns out. So I think originally when I read that I was like, what?
Oh,
but yeah, I probably had the same reaction you're having. Is like, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Why? But then it eventually kind of unfolds and reveals, you know, that it was a smarter choice. So, yeah. But I had that luxury of knowing what lies ahead. Thanks. Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to ask if there are any roles or characters or scenes you really want to do in the future.
Yeah, there's tons. But that's, you know, that's the great thing about the movies is there's always going to be new and exciting movies or new and exciting stories to tell and characters to play and actors to work with and directors to work with and you know, I like to play, you know, I'd love to have kind of a variety of characters in my work. I'd love to have from, you know, the John McClanes, Die Hard, to, you know, a Jim Carrey character in a movie. Like, you know, I'd love to have that variety. Whether or not I get to do that is, you know, to be seen. But I'd love to be able to have the opportunity to, you know, play a lot of different characters. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
I had very interesting information about the scene you played differently, which was in the script. And I'm wondering, have you ever argued with great critic or some writers about some storyline you didn't like, or you think Dean would never do such a thing?
No, I mean we've never argued. I've never had.
Because you know these characters nobody knows.
What's that?
Because you know Dean as nobody knows.
Right. Yes, and that's true. But no, I fortunately enough for me, the writers of our show really respect these characters, and they really they want to protect these characters. Probably, you know, much like you and I do. You know, Dean is such a you know, an important thing to me personally because he's his character that I've lived with for the past 7 years, and I feel like it is that way with the writers as well, and I can tell that in the way that they write for Dean, that they really love this character. I mean, he's a hero to them as well, and you know, he's a hero to me. I mean, just the way that he's not. Trust me, he's not the perfect hero. I mean, he's got his faults, but I think that's what makes him an interesting character. And so, I can't even think of a time where I've disagreed in a large sense to what the writers are writing. There might be like lines, you know, or the way that Dean's saying certain things that I'm like, you know, maybe I'm going to change this a little bit. Sometimes they'll even put in the script, you know, they'll write a line and then they'll put parentheses or however Jensen wants to say it. Because sometimes I just change it and make it what I feel like Dean would say, like what I think is more natural of the character, and they allow me to do that because they know how you know how special he is to me, and he is to them too. So yeah, it's been a really good working relationship with the writers because they really love the characters, and so do we.
And you always do an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Hi.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I really miss the Impala. So, are you missing ride your baby?
Yes. 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 I miss the car, and Lord knows Dean misses the car too. The good news is that I, with the help of some others, convinced the show, the production, to put money into the Impala and soup it up and make it a really, because the way that it sounds, the way you guys hear that car sound on TV, is not the way it really sounds. In fact, in real life, it's kind of embarrassing. And I've been embarrassed about it for 6 seasons. And I'm like, guys, come on! Like this is an iconic car. You've got to soup it up. Let's make it what it's supposed to be. Let's actually have it that. Let's have it with a big giant engine in it, and, you know, sport suspension and sport headers, and let's soup it up. It's not going to change the outside of the car. The car's still going to look exactly like, but it's going to sound the way that it always should, and they did. So they dropped, I don't know, it was like $20,000 or $30,000 into it this year, and I don't think they would have done that if the car didn't have it way back.
I have a more comment again question. I want to tell you that for me you're very much inspiration to me because you're obviously a boy, but you act so much like a woman. And for me that is so inspiring.
I can understand that coming from you. That there is a large confusion in your life. It's written all over your face.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Where are you from?
I'm from India, Russia.
Yes. I hear it's lovely this time of year.
Yes, we have springtime now.
It's great. That's good. You must enjoy running with the flowers and the bees and the birds and ribbons in your hair.
Yes.
That's great. Good for you, sir. Ma'am, I'm not sure. All right, I think our friend from India, Russia is going to come join us in a second.
Far.
Right. Are they comfortable? Misha Collins, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to sign this and drink some water and drop some marbles, and then I'll get out of your way.
Sounds like a plan.
Anybody have any last questions for me? No? Okay.
Sure. Yeah. You want me to help you sign it?
Misha?
Yeah.
Italy.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Don't tell me how to do this. Don't tell me what to do. Stop it! Don't talk to me like that. This is kind of an awkward transition period when your questions are for Jensen. So let's try to work through this anyway. What the hell is going on over there? Are you in a huddle? Okay, you can ask it. I'll.
It's a short question.
Okay, it's fine. He'll answer it.
I asked you yesterday that which role you would have chosen except
Yes.
And you chose the Dean role.
Yes.
And you say
Specifically, I suggested recasting the role, but whatever. I said that we looked exactly alike and no one in the audience would know. What does Jensen think about it? He's flattered, obviously. I mean, for him, that's a big ego boost. I don't want him. Right? He's flattered. You know, I mean... Obviously, right? I mean, even compared to me in that light, is both, I think, inspiring and... I don't understand what's funny about that.
I'm sorry, Mish.
Good question.
You just drink your fucking water and get off the stage.
Can you help me come up with a name for this one?
Yes.
I want 3 suggestions.
Okay. Zippy.
2.
Jackals. And Scrotiscus.
Zippy Scrotiscus, ladies and gentlemen.